Hi guys, this is number 06 of my Savage Beast Saber run. First of all, I need to start off by thanking everyone on the run for being patient, because the run has gone over by about 6 months. Lots of things happened last year for me, personally speaking. My mother passed away, so things were up in the air with a lot of stuff that was going on. So thanks to the guys on the run for being understanding about that, first of all. So without further ado, I'll get on with the run. The run was held via my page, Bespin Custom Props, on the Rebel Armory forum. If you want to look them up, sign up and check out all the cool stuff that's going on the forum. Each saber was numbered, my one being the artist proof. So on the saber just here, see if I can zoom in on it, you'll see BCP, which stands for obviously Bespin Custom Props, SB for Savage Beast, and 06 for number 6 on the run. Now this saber, it's probably got some firsts in terms of the way that it's put together, because it doesn't split in the centre and it's a staff saber. I had to come up with a way of being able to remove the blade holder, which this whole section here is all blade holder. Obviously the blade doesn't come down this far, but I needed a way of removing this to get to the electronics, but not having wires. And thankfully we've got a thing called Neopixel now, and some great guys in the community came up with these things called pogo pins. And basically this is a Neopixel saber running 2 Nano Biscuit Plecter Labs boards. So I've got pogo here, but I've also got pogos here, and then another blade reader on this side. So it's got the blade plate this side and pogos here, and obviously pogos to read the blade plate on this end, and the same with the other end of the saber. Now you may notice that there's no external ignition buttons. Obviously being a Nano, it's not going to have the auxiliary, but that's because there is no external buttons for power on, power off. And that's because these grips that I designed, which I had printed at Shapeways, I designed them. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the video, but let me try and zoom in again. The sound on this saber is actually extremely good. Basically, I've vented the saber. People on the run will know this from the forum posts and pictures, but if I get that just there, you see the gap just there? But there's gaps every so often along each of the grips, and then there's slots cut into the actual main handle itself for the sound to escape. And the speakers are mounted here and here, facing that way and that way, to blast the sound down the saber to come out of all of these speaker holes that I've got in it. And the hidden speaker switch, which people will probably struggle to find, is there and there. And basically I designed the grips to flex, so these grips will flex for the power on and power off. Let me see if I've got the saber switched on or not.
This is not the work of a Sith Lord or a Jedi, but a reckless, impulsive animal.
And obviously it's the same thing on the other side.
This is not the work of a Sith Lord or a Jedi, but a reckless, impulsive animal.
So that's obviously woken it up from sleep. So that's powering it off. Now, other details of the saber. In the Clone Wars series, the D-rings stay level. Now, obviously you can see they're level and they're not rattling and they don't move. Now what I did with them is the holder for the D-ring has got drilled and tapped holes on the underside of it with tiny 440 screws, which you can screw down and tighten this, or if you wanted to you could remove this, loosen them off if you want this horrible and noisy and rattly, which it doesn't do in the series. But obviously I've got them tightened to be realistic to the series, which they just stick straight out and they don't move up and down and they don't rattle. So yeah, that's something that I came up with to stop them from moving. The other details that I've got on my Saber obviously is not on the series. Well, it is, the parts are, but I've done different. I mean, it's a cartoon, so you can pretty much do what you want. But I like brass and I like copper on my Sabers, always have done. So this insert here, rather than just being a piece of red anodized aluminium, as good as it looks, no, that's copper. These small blocks here are both brass and the studs are all made of stainless steel. So that's the extent that I went to for the machining on those. So basically I'll now open up one of the ends and you'll be able to see how the chassis works in it. Now the chassis is not fully removable, and the reason being is I have to, underneath one of the grips, I've got a pin located in the chassis under one of the grips, and that's to stop the chassis from twisting, because obviously if it twists then the button underneath the power switch is going to go out of alignment and then the Saber won't work, and then you'll be there forever and a day trying to line it back up again. So basically there's the blade side pogo that I was talking about, and obviously there's the pogo pin in that side, and you have your 1.3mm recharge socket just there. Let me see if I can get the light on it. Yeah, just there, the 1.3mm recharge socket. You also have your power on and off switch just there.
This is not the work of a Sith Lord or...
Yeah, shut up, Obi. Right, and just inside there, I don't know, I probably won't be able to see it on camera, but just back from there, the board sits around about here, and the SD card is accessible using a good pair of tweezers, basically. And remember, for the people on the run and this customer's Saber, remember when you put the SD card in, the brass bars face downwards, because the board is mounted upside down in here for fitment reasons and for access to the SD card, which you wouldn't be able to have otherwise. So remember, the brass parts on the SD card face downwards when you put in the SD card in, because otherwise all you'll do is just break either the SD card or you'll snap the SD card holder off the board. So I'll just give a little bit more close up on the machine work. Excellent machine work by D&B Engineering, which is a machine shop that I use for all of my design work now, and my one-off parts, the difficult parts that I can't machine myself on my small lathe that I have. So, and the pogos inside. So the other thing obviously is, if you're going to duel with these Sabers, be extremely careful, because it's just this one grub screw that holds this on here, and the reason being is because of the thickness of this. So it is glued underneath as well, but it's just this one grub screw just here which screws in, and it hasn't got a lot of thread depth on it because of the thickness of this. It's just the nature of the beast, to excuse the pun, but that's the price you pay for having things that look like stuff in a series. Now, to put it in perspective, if I would have had this machined from one piece, this whole blade holder section here, because from here to here this is all one piece, so if I would have had this all machined in one piece with this machined as part of it, it would have had to have come from a block of aluminium, and the price of the run would have been probably 2 times more expensive. So the Saber, you could have probably added an easy $1,000 to the cost of the Saber run, if this was all made in one piece, and the people on the run I don't think would have accepted that. Well, not that they would have accepted it, maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't, I don't know, but for ease of manufacture, for starters, it's just easier to machine this as one piece and then have this as a separate add-on. Anyway, I'm probably boring you now, so I'll get on with the part that you probably all want to see, and that's with the blades in. I've got two 34-inch blades for this saber, and when this saber stands on the floor on one end of the blade, the saber is around about 6'5", 6'2" tall. I'm sorry, 6'5" to 6'6" tall. I'm 6'2" myself. That's how tall I am. I don't know what that is for you guys in the US, because I think you do your measurements differently to what we do in the UK. I think you do it like in meters or something, 1 point something meters, but I'm 6'2", and this saber stands taller than me at around about 6'5", 6'6". So I'll just pause this and then I'll set up for the demo. Don't know if this fits in the picture, all this. Soon see once I've edited it. So as you can see, when I hit one blade, only one blade's reacting, which is good. It means that the shock's not travelling to the second board on the chassis that I designed. Trying to do this without smashing my room to pieces is like really difficult, but you get the idea. So obviously it's got that font on it, which is the Night Brother font. You've also got the standard Plecter Labs fonts on it. So there it is, guys. Obviously, being the Nano Biscuit fonts, sound cards, sorry, makes it the demo part of it, that side of it, not very long, because I haven't got blaster blocks or any of that kind of stuff on it. So there it is, Savage Beast number 6. Thanks for watching, guys.